Hi everyone, it's Stacy from CPAPbabes.com. It is the first day of 2018 and I'm so excited. I am a big numbers nerd. I don't really like math, but I like numbers, and 2018 is one of my favorite numbers because my birthday is 2/18. So it just makes me happy that I get a whole year of my favorite numbers. So, anyway, what I'm going to talk about today is putting out a message for those of you who have CPAP-related New Year's resolutions. I don't, because luckily I do well with my CPAP, and I'm kind of afraid to sleep without it. But I know a lot of people are really trying to use this new year to get back into a routine of using their CPAP, which is amazing, and you should totally do that if you are not using it regularly. So I'm going to give a couple tips for that. Just 3 things, and the first one is to prep. So if you are going to get back into the habit of using your CPAP or get into the habit for the first time, you absolutely have to prep for it. It's exactly like a diet, right? You go into a diet, and if you don't have the proper foods, then you're going to go out and eat junk. The same thing with CPAP. Make sure you have a cat to snuggle. Just kidding. Make sure you have distilled water if you use a humidifier, right? Buy a bunch of that, have it ready, because then you can't use that as an excuse. The more prepared you are, the less excuses you're going to have. Have extra equipment. Have backup equipment. Again, it's an excuse that you can easily do. It's easy, I know, because I'm good with CPAP, but there's a lot of things, other things in life that I'm not good at that I have excuses for. So the more prepared you are, the easier it's going to be. And going along with that, one of my businesses, as I'm a professional organizer, so make sure your environment is set up correctly, right? Try to make it as nice as possible. If you're able to, get it decluttered, have a nice spot on your nightstand, have a little hook on the wall. I have a little hook on my wall for my CPAP. I think I showed that in one of my other videos, I think. Just make it as nice as you can to go to bed at night. The other thing that I would suggest is if you use any remedies for when you're sick. So a lot of times if you're stuffed up, it can be hard to use CPAP. So see if you can get a full face mask so that if you can't breathe out of your nose, you can breathe out of your mouth. Or what I use, not medical advice, I'm not a doctor, but one of the things I have handy is eucalyptus oil. It's an essential oil. There's lots of essential oils out there that people choose to use. I don't sell them, but you can find them online. I keep the eucalyptus oil. I don't put it on my CPAP at all, but I will put a little bit on a cotton ball by my air intake when I'm sick, and that'll kind of help clear me up a little bit. So just think of all these different scenarios. Also, one thing a lot of people with CPAP or with sleep apnea choose to use is Flonase, because that'll open up. It's like I think you can get it not in a prescription now, but it just opens up your sinuses. So just prep as much as you can, have as much ready so that you're not going to have excuses. One person I read today said their excuses, they were traveling all the time, so they would not bring it. And I get that. That sucks. But But if you like have the money, go buy a travel machine. I have the Air Mini, which I did not pay for. I got for free because I did a commercial. So I can't just be like, oh, go buy it. But that has been really helpful. I didn't skip bringing my CPAP when I traveled before because I'm so dedicated. However, I know a lot of people do. So having the Air Mini just to grab and go and not have to do the setup and breakdown is really nice. So that is tip number 1. Prep as much as you can. Anything you can think of that would make you avoid CPAP, do it now. The second part kind of goes along with that, is to seek help. So obviously you might need support from your doctors. You might need support from your DME to get these extra supplies that I'm talking about. Hopefully, I've heard some awful stories where people have said that their spouse doesn't like them to use CPAP, which I think is ridiculous. But hopefully you have someone rooting for you. If my husband ever falls asleep without it, I'm like putting it on his sleeping face because I am a stickler. So if there's anyone in your life who can kind of cheer you on, on Facebook, there's lots of really fun support groups. And then there's also Jason, who did a video, I guess, about me, which was really cool. He has freecpapadvice.com. So there's lots of different pockets of the internet where you can get support from other people. My favorite Facebook group is called Fun with Sleep Apnea. I also have a CPAP Babes group that I wouldn't recommend right now because it's not very active. So, but maybe we can get active this year. I don't know. There's other, the reason I'm not pursuing that much is because there are other groups that are more active, and I'd rather just give the traffic to those. So find as much support. My cat is crazy, by the way. Find as much support as you can, whether it be in real life, whether it be online, whatever. What's interesting is no one in real life really talks about their CPAP or sleep apnea. I do, because I'm a nerd. But once you start mentioning it, there's other people who will be like, oh yeah, I have that too. So if you're comfortable talking about it, which I think everyone should be, but I know everyone's different, you know, bring it up, talk about it with people, say it's something you're working on. And you'll probably realize a lot of people have it too, which is kind of fun. I was actually at a bar last night for New Year's. I wasn't drinking because I'm pregnant, but I was hanging out, and I was talking to someone and telling her that I do I have a blog and everything, and she goes, oh, I have sleep apnea. I was like, oh my God! And I was just very excited. So anyway, number 3, and this is the most important thing, find your why. Why are you using a CPAP? In business, everyone says, find your why for running a business. And my why was always a little difficult. And I was always like, it's because I want to have kids. I don't have the flexibility to have time with my kids. But that never really, got down to it because having kids never really seemed, concrete because I didn't have them yet. So when I really dug deep and I found my why with that, it turned out that I didn't like going to a regular job because I didn't like having to fake productivity because it didn't seem authentic, and I really like to be authentic and my true self. So having a business allowed me to do the work I wanted and then get on with my life and do the things I like, and I didn't have to fake my way through it. If that makes any sense. So, but the same thing with CPAP. Why are you doing it? Is it because you don't want to die? Because CPAP can help you not die, so it's cool. Is it, I think your why could be your kids, right? You could want to spend your life with your kids and with your family, so you're going to use the CPAP so you don't die and get to spend time with them. For me, really what it was, the reason I became so dedicated right away is because I felt like I had, oh my gosh, you're so cute. I felt like I had no other choice. I felt like this was going to work for me. I just felt so crappy for so long. I'm like, nope, this is it. I'm going to do this. I have no choice. Done. That's not really a why, I guess, but that's how I got it. But really my why was I was desperate and I wanted relief. I wanted to feel better. There was nothing that could keep me from wanting to feel better. So I would do anything to feel better, and CPAP was that, and I did start feeling better right away. So really think about why you're doing it. Hopefully it's for yourself. Maybe it's for your family. Maybe it's because you want your bed partner to sleep better. You know, there's no right answer to that. So why are you doing it? It might be you want to get off your blood pressure meds. It might be that you want to lose weight, and CPAP could help with that. And side note on that, I actually did lose a little weight once I got on CPAP. Not a ton, but a little, and I got less puffy. But what's interesting about that is it wasn't necessarily because CPAP makes you lose weight. It's because I had more energy to cook healthy food and to exercise, and I had more energy to just have healthier habits, and I think my body is working more efficiently. So I think it can help in the right routine. If you got to do other stuff too. You can't just use CPAP and lose weight. Really, Momo. So that's my 2 cents for your CPAP New Year's resolution. A lot of it is about the mindset, and it is kind of annoying when I was really annoyed with people when I was feeling like crap and I didn't know I had sleep apnea, and I wasn't really super overweight at that point. I wasn't snoring. People would be like, well, just think positive and you'll be better. Obviously, I have a medical disorder. I almost said a mental disorder. Kind of have that too, but whatever. You can't really positive think away sleep apnea. That would be cool, but Maybe some people can. That was not successful for me. So it does get annoying when people push mindset on all this stuff that you don't have control over. However, with your mindset, you do have control over some of it, and it can help. And that's with CPAP. I just kind of went in and I'm like, I cannot fail at this. This is going to work. And it did. So I was very lucky. I was exhausted. I put it on. I fell asleep. Didn't take a lot of effort for me. I didn't, my first mask worked. So again, when you're prepping, and I know people mention this, I forgot to mention this, you might have to go through a bunch of different masks. You might have to try different masks and buy different masks to see which ones work for you, because sometimes you have one and it kind of sucks, and then you need to try a different one or a full face. I know my husband started with the Amara View, and it worked. It was okay, but then he got a full face, the ResMed F20, and it was awesome for him. It's working a lot better. It makes him want to use it more because he's not having the dry mouth that he was having with the Amara View. So sometimes it's a lot of trial and error, and it can be frustrating to have to go through all that. But in the end, once you get it, it's so worth it. And you don't die, and you sleep well, and you feel rested, and you can sustain a pregnancy, right? I'm so grateful this year that without CPAP, I might not be able to have this baby, I would hate to be pregnant and not be giving him enough oxygen. So there's just so many health benefits and life benefits, and it's great. It's interesting because I know a lot of people with what's going on politically are having a really hard time. They've had a rough 2016, rough 2017, and I've just kind of been on this like blissful path lately. I'm like, life is so good. I've had the best last couple of years, blah, blah, blah. I can't complain about anything. And then I realized, I'm like, why have the past couple of years been so good? I'm like, oh, I got diagnosed in 2015. So it set up for 2016 and 2017 being pretty darn good. Not perfect. I still get tired, and I still sleep a long time sometimes. But when I'm awake, I feel so much better most of the time, and it's just amazing. So, Happy New Year. Let me know how it goes. If you need support, feel free to shoot me a message on, usually Instagram's the best way to shoot me a message. Again, I'm not a doctor, but I can listen to you and share my experiences. The CPAP groups on Facebook that I really like is called Fun with Sleep Apnea. And then, of course, there are some forums. FreeCPAPadvice.com is a forum if you are not a Facebook user. And, yeah, Happy New Year, 2018. I'm very excited. It's going to be a good year. Yeah. Happy New Year. Bye. Mom, will you say bye to the people? She says bye. Say bye, Mama. Bye, everyone.